Welcome back to the Marching to Madness College Basketball Podcast, where I have my good friend Russell Turner from the UC Irvine Anteaters here on today. Coach Turner is the winningest coach in Anteaters history. He has 242 wins in 12 seasons. His Anteaters have finished in the top 4 of the Big West Conference, which is a tough league in each of the last 10 years. Coach Turner, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Ken. It's great to be here with you.
Sure. Hey, you've had 10 straight winning seasons, and we talk about being in that top 4. As you came into this job, what were the key portals that you had to kind of emphasize to make this program, as winnable or as big of a winner as it is?
Hey, that's a long time ago when I started here, but luckily for me, I'd been at other great academic institutions. I've been at Stanford University. I've been at Wake Forest University. In Division III, I was at an academic-minded place at Hampton-Sydney College. And so we came here with the idea that we could recruit a type of guy that would fit this community, build a style of play that would be good for the players and us coaches if we could develop guys. And then, we've gotten a lot of good breaks in recruiting that have allowed for us now to be consistently successful. So people expect us to be good. Players and their families like the fact that we've been consistently good. So we've been able to build on that a little bit. I've had a young team the last 2 years. When COVID hit, we had an old team. And the first COVID season, we had one of the youngest teams in the country. And I've still got a young team. But we're getting older and we're getting more experienced. And we're going to be good again this year, I think.
You guys led the nation in holding opponents to 26.2% from the three-point line last year. Just talk a little bit about your defensive philosophy and how it plays into playing that kind of defense on the three-point line.
Well, yeah, that was an interesting stat for us because in our previous years, we hadn't been a top three-point shooting defensive team. Like every team now, we emphasize taking away the three-point shots. That's something that, everybody's been committed to. We've been trying to be committed to it. I think we did a few key things to get better at it last year. Probably had some luck on our side too. But I think there was good buy-in with our group to different ways of contesting shots. And I think we played a really quick perimeter, a combination of perimeter guys that have great quickness and size and good commitment to taking away threes, because we always know that there's going to be help behind that first contest. Our team's been for a number of years really good at defending the rim. I expect us to continue to be that. And what we thought last year is if we could be good at defending the rim and also defend the three well, that we would have a good season. And we had a good season, but not a great season because we didn't finish well. December 12th, we were 15th or something. We had a really good team, I thought. And then after that, we got derailed a little bit with COVID and never really recovered. But I was pleased with those defensive numbers you mentioned.
You lose Colin. He was your top scorer, and he was also one of 7 Anteaters in history to score over 1,000 points and get 700 rebounds. So how do you build, without such a presence? How is the it's not a rebuild, but how's the build changing?
Well, hey, we're going to miss Colin. He was, as you said, one of the best guys that we've had in our program ever, but especially since I've been here, and a great ambassador for this school. When he was a true freshman, he was part of he was a redshirt freshman. He was part of the team that won a game in the NCAA tournament for us. He had a really prominent role in that team, and he was a 3-year all-conference player. So he's difficult to replace. But we had a kid last year that we brought in to sort of fill into some of the role that he plays, and that kid's name is Devin Tillis. Who started his career at UNLV, where at the end of his true freshman season, he was a starter for that team. Devin was with us last year, but sat out with an injury. I think he's a guy that comes and slots into that position that Colin leaves, and he's not quite the same, but he's similar. And we've always had a stable of other big guys, guys that we're counting on coming in and playing really hard and rebounding the ball, defending their positions well. We did lose some big guys to the transfer portal, which was unusual for us, but I do have a bunch of guys that we think can come in and make up for the absence of one of our all-time greats, Colin.
Colin Welp. Yeah, Dawson Baker is your leading returning scorer. And then you have Justin Hahn,
Yeah.
the team leader last season in assists and steals. So discuss their approach in formulating your backcourt.
Well, yeah, we've got a number of really talented perimeter players. Dawson was the freshman of the year in our league 2 years ago. Had some bad luck last year with injuries. He really got banged up with some difficult injuries to recover from. He broke his hand at one point, and he had a pretty severe broken rib at another point. So I never felt like he was able to get his rhythm fully last season, but he's as conditioned as I've ever seen a guy right now and poised to have a very good season. So we expect a lot from him, and he's a veteran person. Even though he's only in his third year for us, he went on a Mormon mission, so he's an older guy, and that's a good thing. Justin, has already had 3 years in our program. One of those years was a red shirt that he electively took, and then his first year playing for us was a red shirt year again because of COVID. So he's got some experience now. As you mentioned, he was a key contributor for us last year. We started him every game at the point, and we know that those two guys can be high-level perimeter performers for us. And we got a couple more that I think are going to push them and can also be high-level players on that side of the ball.
JC Butler's back. He shot 48% from the floor, and he started all 25 games for you.
Yeah. JC is Karan Butler's son, and JC's been on our program for a long time too. He also played on that team that won a game in the NCAA tournament and played a significant role as a true freshman. So I'm excited to see what JC can do this year. I thought he was a perfect fit, JC, I thought, next to Colin Vell. Without Vell, a little bit of a different team. So JC's going to have to adapt his role and continue to be one of the top shutdown individual defenders in our league, and combine that with some more rebounding and the ability to get us some easy baskets. But I'm excited for JC.
Coach, as a head coach and then with your staff, how much do you guys, go in and kind of tweak the offensive and defensive attacks from season to season?
Well, we have to do that a lot, I think. In some ways, our program has had a lot of continuity in the types of things that we try to do. We're always trying to build on both the offense and the defensive side of the ball towards our personnel. And this year will be no different. Offensively, last year, we didn't handle the ball very well. And we played with not very strong decision making a lot of time. And that surprised me as the season went on that we weren't better with that. I do think that our entire core of perimeter players being back with more experience will help us with our ball handling and decision making. And I think that we've got a key transfer in Pierre Crockrell from Pacific, who's also been a high level distributor in the WCC, but we know he's going to make other guys better. I think those things will help us on the offensive side. On defense, we've got a style that I think that fits smart kids. We do get guys to commit to the defensive end. We do have versatility and quickness and depth in our perimeter position. So I think we're going to be good on both sides, offense and defense, with our perimeter guys.
Coach, you've got several, like we're saying, new additions this season. The kid, Chavis, I think Hutchinson, comes over from Fullerton College.
Yeah, Chaz is an interesting prospect. His brother Chandler is an NBA player.
Yeah.
Chaz hasn't been playing for very long. He kind of came to basketball late, but he's got an NBA type body for sure, and was a solid producer at a good JC program that won a lot last year. And because of the transfers we have, we need Chaz to come in and fill a really important role as an active, aggressive, physical big guy for us.
Good. Yeah. As you go through, the day-to-day process of running a Division I basketball team, talk a little bit about your thoughts on the state of college basketball, and then especially as, you get the transfer portal, you get the NIL, you got everything seems like it's a work in motion anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of us head coaches are experiencing more, I don't know, anxiety or change possibility than we have at any other point. I feel fortunate to have the continuity in our program that we have with our staff. I've got good people all around me here, but there's no doubt about the fact that the college game is changing. I think that anybody who resists that change is going to adapt to it more slowly than those of us who embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to embrace the change. I feel well prepared from the different types of coaches that I've worked for, from the experience I've had in the NBA. I feel prepared for the uncertainty, for the upheaval that makes doing this stuff so much fun. We're going to always be about our players and our players' experiences and their families having good experiences in our program. And we're going to have to keep adapting in order to compete and hopefully to win at a high level like we've become accustomed to doing. That won't be easy for anybody. But we're going to figure it out. And we're in that process now with practice having started the second week.
Last thing, Coach Turner, you were an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors, so you coached at some points in the NBA Summer League. I enjoy watching that. I mean, I've got a big basketball, fixation of withdrawal after the finals, so I go straight into there. Discuss the popularity of that, and then how do you think it became so popular?
Well, hey, when I was in the NBA, and that I guess started, I got to add them up, 16 years ago.
Mhm.
It was this year the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
My first season, I think we had Summer League here in Long Beach, and then the very next year was the year it began in Vegas. And to watch the way that Summer League has taken off, the exposure that's provided by ESPN and other outlets, NBA TV, has been really fascinating to see, because it wasn't much like that at all back when I was there. We were doing it, but it's an incredible opportunity for the coaches, for the players. It's a difficult challenge to go to Vegas and piece a team together of almost exclusively free agent guys who are trying to make it, trying to adapt to the NBA game and NBA level expectations. I learned so much from the players and from the coaches during the time I was a part of that. I was there for Steph Curry's Summer League. He had some electrifying nights and also some nights where it was really hard for him. I think that's the story of anybody's adaptation to the NBA. It's a tough league. It's a tough league that's going to challenge you, whether you're coaching or whether you're playing. And it's going to reward the guys who can continue to improve. So I watch it like you do now, with a great deal of curiosity and great memories of the time that I was in it.
Coach Russell Turner, ladies and gentlemen, the UC Irvine Anteaters. Coach, it's always a pleasure to get you on here and talk a little hoop, and look forward to seeing you and your Big West foes go do battle this year.
Hey, it should be a great race in the Big West, Ken, and I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate you tuning in and checking out the Anteaters, and invite everybody who are your listeners and your viewers to do the same thing. We got a good squad.
Yep. Good luck, Coach.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you.